What's going on, guys? It's Scones here and I'm bringing you a new Duel Links video, and in this video I'm going to be using my Yami-Bakura deck. And the main reason why I created this deck is just because of the Yami-Bakura event, and I got the second Dark Necrofear through the points, and I kind of wanted to build a deck around that, so build a kind of a fiend deck, and I really haven't put the finishing touches on this deck. It's still very raw, and if you guys have any themes you think I should change or any comments, just leave it down in the comment section below and I'll definitely make those changes, because it's definitely still in the early stages of the deck. So I'm just going to walk through. It's based around Dark Necrofear, trying to get it on the field, so getting a bunch of fiend monsters in my graveyard. And I have only leveled up Bakura enough to get its compensation skill, so that's the only one that I'm using with this deck, but Fiend Farewell is pretty much the skill you would want to use if you want to run this Bakura deck. And I have two Trans Archfiends in here. They're pretty powerful, plus I can discard a Fiend type monster to raise it up to 2,000 attack points for that turn. I have three of these, but I only have two in this deck, and I may try a third one, but I like how it is right now with two. And then I have my Discblade Rider, and this helps get rid of, after I use a Rope of Life or Windstorm of Itaqua, to help raise that attack to 2,200 for that turn. Then just an assortment of Fiend cards. I have Prometheus, King of the Shadows in here, so when I have tons of Fiend type monsters in my graveyard, I can just banish a lot of them and then just get a ton of attack points for maybe a last second surge for my opponent's life points. And then I just have a random assortment of Fiend types. I have Archfiend Palabyrinth, and ideally you would want two in this deck just so you draw them a little bit quicker. And if you get two, you could potentially take an Owl of Luck out of this deck, but I of course just have it in there so I can draw this Archfiend field spell card faster, because it does raise all my Fiend types attack by 500 points. And then just the standard support cards, and I got the structure deck for the spellcasters, and I had Rope of Life in there, and I'm really enjoying this card, and I really wanted to try it out with this Fiend type deck because it does raise the attack of a monster that gets destroyed by 800, and it also discards your entire hand, so I can ideally just throw a bunch of Fiends into the graveyard. And then I've Windstorm of Itaqua, Mirror Wall, Econ, just for support. And we'll go ahead and just jump straight into the duels. So this is duel number 1, guys, and we really do not get that great of a hand. We have Mirror Wall, we have Rope of Life, and we have both of our Dark Necrofears in our hand. That's really not what we want to start out with, because we really can't do anything with two Dark Necrofears in our starting hand, and I have to skip my first turn, which is going to open me up to a straight attack because I don't have anything to play, and it's just going to take a big chunk of my life points out with his Neo the Magic Swordsman. I use my compensation skill. Hopefully I'll deposit another monster into my Fiend type monster, and it actually worked out pretty well because I was actually able to get rid of a monster that I couldn't summon right away, a tribute summon. And then he plays this go ahead and skip the animation, but he played the Chain Destruction Trap card, which he didn't understand how much that would help me, because I have two other Man-Eaten Treasure Chests in this deck, and that allowed me to just discard them into my graveyard, and then I could just special summon my Dark Necrofear, who was strong enough to take out his Neo the Magic Swordsman. And that's pretty much what placed me on top in this duel. It would have been a much harder duel to win if he hadn't done that. And I was able to get my Archfiend Palabyrinth on the field right away, and that's just going to add insult to injury, and then I'm going to have two monsters that are above 2,000 attack, and he's really not going to be able to stop that. And just like that, this deck pretty much went from being hopeless on that first turn to actually pulling out the W, so I was really excited about that. And we'll pretty much end that duel here, guys, and we'll go into duel number 2. And we're back with duel number 2, guys, and I really don't get that great of a start in hand yet again. I do draw the double Mirror Wall, which is good, but the problem is I draw my Dark Necrofear and my Prometheus on the first turn. Both of those cards I'm kind of relying on being able to have a lot of monsters in my graveyard when I summon them. So I go ahead and I summon my Trance Archfiend in attack mode, hoping that maybe his Wyvern wouldn't attack, or I'd either scare him off enough to where he wouldn't attack, or I would just use my Mirror Wall and take him out. And he ends up just falling for the Mirror Wall trap, and then that just goes straight to the graveyard, do a little bit of damage, and I have a straight shot with his life points. And I actually end up drawing, I believe, my second Trance Archfiend right here, and I summon that, and I power up using my discard my Prometheus, which is going to give me 3,500 combined attack. And I'm just going to attack him with both monsters, and that should be the end of this duel, guys. Another quick victory using this Fiend deck, and I've really enjoyed using it, and I'm really looking forward to improving it with both your comments and just doing a few duels myself. And we'll just go ahead and go straight into duel number 3. So this duel was by far the hardest of these 3 duels. So I end up drawing Prometheus, 2 Ropes of Life, and an enemy controller, which isn't that too terrible of a hand. I can stall him with enemy controller, hoping that I get another monster, or I can just use a Rope of Life and boost my Prometheus to 2,000 attack. That's not what I end up doing there, because he throws something in defense mode, so I throw my Prometheus in defense mode just to protect my life points. He's going to summon that Twin Barrel Dragon, and he's not going to get the double flip, and I was so grateful for that. And he's going to attack my Gross Ghost to Fled Dreams, and he's going to end up doing a little bit of damage to himself, and I'm hoping that I draw something on this turn that can help me out. And I end up drawing my Dark Necrofear, which wasn't the best theme, but I thought at this point, well, if he destroys something, I might want to discard my Dark Necrofear to use my Rope of Life. At least it'll boost up my monster's attack by 800. And I'm going to go ahead and let him destroy my Gross Ghost, just because I do have that enemy controller, and it's my plan to summon this Man-Eaten Treasure Chest and then use my enemy controller to take control of his Fiend Mega Cyber. And I didn't know this was the best play right here, but my situation wasn't looking too good at the moment, and I just tried to do anything I possibly could. And it's even worse that he has that Gross Pump Princess. That is just one of my least favorite cards in the game, and it's really going to start wearing me down. But you'll see that I'm able to overcome it for a short amount of time using my Ropes of Life. And I really don't know why this guy, he could have won the game right here. I don't know why he threw Apophis in defense mode. If he just put in attack mode, he would have done 2,200 damage right here, another 1,600 right there, and won the duel. So I don't know why he threw Apophis in defense mode. He could have won the duel if he hadn't, but I mean, he just gave me, a sliver of hope, I guess. So here I actually end up drawing my Mirror Wall, and it's really sad, and I'm left up to this compensation. And unfortunately, I do gain that 300 attack, and I was kind of hoping that I would get another Fiend type monster. I didn't know that I already had 3 in there. I thought I only had 2 Fiend type monsters in that deck, so I guess that compensation wasn't as important I thought it was. Go ahead and summon my Dark Necrofear, but then he uses his Adhesion Trap Hole, which just makes my Dark Necrofear even weaker. But I'm actually going to keep that Mirror Wall in my hand and discard it for my Rope of Life. And that's going to go ahead and let me resummon my Dark Necrofear. Even though there's the Pump Princess on the field, it still has 2,700 attack, which is more than enough to take out his Mega Cyber. And I actually ended up summoning that Dark Necrofear 3 times in this one duel. And I'm pretty sure there's I don't know if there's a stage challenge for that or a stage mission, but I wish I was on that stage when this happened, because those are the most annoying things when you have to summon something 3 times in one duel. And I actually did it here just because I needed to, otherwise I would have lost the duel. So I took out his Bazoo just to do a lot of damage to his life points, knowing that even after 2 turns, my Dark Necrofear still would have been plenty strong enough to destroy his Mega Cyber. But then he loads up here, and he doesn't realize that him playing that Rigorous Reaver is actually going to doom him in the long run. I take that 500 attack decrease. He's going to destroy my Dark Necrofear, but I'm bringing it right back with Rope of Life. So it was good that I had 2 of those on very early on. I'm going to summon my Dark Necrofear for the 3rd time, and at that point he just kind of notices that, hey, there's nothing I'm going to do to win, and he throws in the towel. So that's going to be duel number 3. That one was probably one of the craziest duels I've done recently, just because I really shouldn't have won that. Like, he should have took me out that one turn when he summoned Apophis, but on top of that, Pump Princess, I was able to overcome that and a Rigorous Reaver when I had pretty low life points. So I thought that was pretty impressive, and I really like this deck, and if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know down in the comments, and if you've enjoyed, make sure you like this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed, click the annotation to the left to subscribe to my channel, and if you want to watch more great videos, click the annotations to the right. I'll see you there.